Good morning to you and welcome. And thank you very much, Loretta, for that introduction. It's Senior Minister, Honorable Yao Safumafo, His Excellency Mr. Kwate, Deputy Chairperson of the African Union Commission, fellow Ministers for Finance and Economic Planning, Honorable Gondwe, Chair of the ACBF Board of Governors, Mr. Mwencha, Chair of the Executive Board, Mrs. Charlotte Osei, Vice Chair of the ACBF Executive Board, distinguished members of the ACBF Board of Governors and Executive Board, Professor Nadoze, Executive Secretary of the ACBF and your staff, members of the Diplomatic Corps, representatives of development partners, distinguished panelists and experts, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you again, and this is really to welcome you to Accra and Ghana. We pride ourselves to being the most friendly people on the continent, and I'm sure you'll soon be enjoying that hospitality if it hasn't started already. Warm people at heart. We are honored to have you and to host this 26th annual meeting of the Board of Governors of the African Capacity Building Foundation. And this is significant because once again it's a first after our decision to start our 2017-2021 strategic plan, which really should fundamentally change the way in which we operate, to be more forward, to be more aggressive about our future and to take hold of it. So the government and people of Ghana are especially honored to be hosting this meeting in Accra under the theme, Assessing Funds for Development, Required Capacities for Resource Mobilization, Utilization, and Absorption. The choice of Accra for this year's meeting is timely on two fronts. First, Ghana is significantly intensifying efforts to close loopholes and optimize existing laws to boost our own domestic resource mobilization. And secondly, and importantly, Accra is now home to ACBF's Regional Office for West Central and North Africa. As such, I pray this gathering sparks a new energy in our own collective discussions on African development grounded in capacity building. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, ACBF is an important institution in the individual and collective aspirations of the countries of our continent, as witnessed by its recognition as an African Union specialized technical agency dedicated to capacity development. Over the years, it has demonstrated its ability to advance and support capacity building interventions across our continent. ACBF's contribution to the strengthening of the institutional and human capacities, as well as the socio-economic transformation of our countries through knowledge production and sharing, technical assistance, and financial investments, is surpassed by few. In the past quarter of a century, we have deployed some $700 million or so, and have been critical in straddling the whole entire policy value chain and building institutions and individual capacities of over 300 or so capacity development projects on the continent. Here in Ghana, we have received significant support from the foundation of a total of over 590 Ghanaians, having so far received master's level training in economic policy management at GIMPA, the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, and the University of Ghana. This includes about 100 senior civil servants who are all contributing their quota to the development of Ghana, including our own Honorable Kweku Kwarteng, who is a colleague, Deputy Minister of Finance. ACBF has also aided in deepening Ghana's democratic discourse and economic transformation through grants, strengthening the capacity, and have helped establish think tanks such as the Center for Policy Analysis, CEPA, the African Center for Economic Transformation, ACET, and the Institute of Democratic Governance. Our partnership with ACBF is a tremendous blessing for us, and it's therefore an opportunity, and therefore this opportunity to host the Board of Governors, it's something that we treasure. The 26th meeting of the Board of Governors is taking place also at a very strategic time for Africa, given the current discussions on the necessity for African countries to finance their own development as laid out in Agenda 2063 and Agenda 2030. President Kagame's proposal on financing the AU and Donald Kaburika's efforts to implement these proposals. This meeting and the theme we have proposed for discussion are very relevant and will set us on the right path. As you know, one of the major issues now with regards to the whole concept of our 2063 agenda is how do we move Africa beyond aid, and what does that mean? And our 2017-2021 strategy is a blueprint that would help us move towards that. I pray that it becomes a living document for all of us over this period as our new realignment with the AU and the Achilles heel for most of the things we do on this continent is implementation. We have our own shortfalls in this country. The link up with the private sector and civil society is going to be crucial, and knowledge sharing and forming peer groups so that we do not repeat past mistakes is also going to be important. All of this towards implementation of what we have to do. But key to part of this, of course, is going to be the resource mobilization. And I pray that at this meeting, we will be able to strengthen the Committee for Resource Mobilization, maybe add private sector members to it, and ensure that our goal of raising $250 million over the next 5 years would actualize and not be too dependent on our traditional support base, such as the World Bank. So in the next 2 days, I look forward to engaging all of you on these important issues to leverage our capacity to absorb resources for development. Let me take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome you once again, and I urge all of us to take this opportunity to also visit some of our historic sites if you get some chance for that. But let's work assiduously. Let's work with a spirit of courage, of care for our continent, and self-discipline to change the future of our people. Thank you very much and welcome.